Hi everybody, how's everybody doing? Hope all is well. I'm doing fine, I can't complain. Excuse me. I came on the other day and I was talking about tax preparation, tax preparers. And it starts in about 2 weeks. The IRS starts doing their tax returns on January 26th. So I'll just start the whole conversation over in case you didn't hear the first time. If you have a background in accounting as a tax preparer, or if you've taken classes in bookkeeping, or you have a knack for numbers, some people just are good at numbers. They haven't gone to school for them or anything like that. You can become a tax preparer and make some additional money, some very good money. Some people make up to $100,000 from January to April doing tax returns. It's a word of mouth business for the most part. If you do taxes, you can have pass out cards, business cards, and people will pass them out for you. And if your prices are reasonable, you can get word of mouth business. So this is a great time to start thinking about doing tax returns. You go to H&R Block, Jackson, Paris, they have classes, and you can literally have yourself a nice part-time job. You don't have to be licensed. There's no license that you need to do this. You don't have to take any particular classes. There are no specific hours that you could do it. You could do it on the weekend. You know what they say, one salary is too close to no salary. So if you see opportunity where you can make some extra money, this would be a great idea. Like I said, you can go to H&R Block. That's the #1 tax preparer in the country. And Jackson Hewitt, I don't know if he's regional or not, but in the area that I live in, it's very popular. If you see one, you see the other. They're in the mall. You could go in the mall and talk to someone about it. How could you get started? You could work for them. They also hire during this time. So you don't even have to work for yourself. You could apply at the tax preparer, start with H&R Block, find out who their competitors are, and you could work for them. So, like I said, it starts on January 26th. Today is the 15th, so you have about 10 days to, really look into it. And you can look it up on you can Google it and see what are the salaries for part-time tax preparers, and you will see it's up to $100,000. It's not a $20 an hour job. And like I said, if you have a knack for numbers, I know somebody's probably thinking, well, I'm good at numbers, but I'm not. I haven't gone to school for it. You don't have to go to school for it. You don't have to be an accountant. You don't have to be a bookkeeper. You don't have to have any special training. As long as you can figure out how to fill out that 1040, that would be, of course, the W-2 form that the employees get at the end of the year. They're probably getting them right now, and they would bring it to you, and you would do their W-4, and the 1040, you would attach it, you fill it all out, the information. So you would have to, the most important thing you'd have to do is brush up on the laws. And if you go to the IRS site, and then go to the 1040 part of the IRS, they have all they have like sample tax forms. So you could practice and update yourself on any information you may not know, any tax laws or whatever, but it's nothing that complicated. It's a very simple, you have to put in how many dependents, how much money they made, how much taxes. If you can read a W-2, if you can read a W-2, you can do this preparation because it's not that hard. It literally tells you line A goes on A, line 1A, this number goes to B, this number, it's not that complicated. And then, of course, it all has to balance out at the end. They tell you how much to take out for each dependent. But I don't want it to make it sound complicated. If you go to, there's two ways you can do this. You can, first of all, you can go to the IRS site and then go to the 1040 where they talk about tax returns and see if they have any sample returns so you can practice there. You can also go to online. You can also go, if you want to work for H&R Block, you would go in the mall because they're usually in the mall, and Jackson Hewitt. If H&R Block is on this side of the mall, Jackson Hewitt is on the other side of the mall. Apply to both of them. They are both, I'm sure, hiring right now. And see what you can do as far as making you a little extra money from now until the 15th. Some very good extra money. And don't think that you can't do it. If you have a knack for numbers, some people don't like working with numbers. Some people have a lot of strength with numbers. They're good at numbers and accounting, figuring things out. And basically, as long as you have your calculator and you can follow directions, you can be a tax preparer. Again, there are no classes, there are no licenses, no certifications that you need to be hired for to be a tax preparer. I didn't say a tax accountant, I said a tax preparer. And quite naturally, you will get some extra work in. You wouldn't just stop on the 15th. The tax deadline is April 15th, but a lot, and that would be, you would have to block out a lot of time, probably around the end of March to the middle of April, because that's when everybody's bringing in their tax returns and wanting to get them done. The other time is really at the beginning. Like when the 26th comes, a lot of people, they've already received their W-2s. They're waiting for the preparers to start, and it starts on, once again, it starts on January 26th. So that's a week from Monday. So you can start putting your feelers out, look on the internet, see who's doing tax preparing, who's hiring, or like I said, you can do it on your own. Lots of people do tax preparation on their own. And you don't have to spend a lot of money preparing. You don't need an office. Paperwork home and meet the person back wherever you pick the papers up from. Let's say you're at a coffee shop. You want to meet at a safe location. Tell them, I'll pick them up here at Starbucks and get whatever information you need from them, and then meet them back. Charge them half up front. Don't ever do the whole setup, because it is tedious, a lot of work. It's not, anything. It is tedious. It's not hard, it's tedious. You got to know what you're doing. But if they say, oh, well, I don't want to pay you until you're finished. If you trust them, that's up to you. But most people would charge half up front, and then the other half when you finish their tax return. And that's the way most people do. And you also want to brush up on, they have a program where people can get the money up front. They don't have to wait the 4 weeks or 6 weeks or whatever the government takes. There's a program online that you would want to look into, because that's another way that you could charge a little bit extra, but you would also have to know what you're doing, because you have to, you can probably, I'm not really sure of the specifics, so I don't want to say, but you are able to get them connected to the bank, and the bank would give them whatever their return. And then when the payment came in from the government, that payment would go to the bank, if I'm making sense. Let me say that again. In other words, you can also, once you brush up on it and know what you're talking about, and you've contacted the bank, you can get a early payment of their tax return by submitting some information to the bank, and the bank would give them the payment up front, and then they would sign over their tax return to the bank. So you'd have to look into that. I know you can do that, but I'm not really sure what the particulars are, but that is something you'd also want to look into, because you would probably charge extra for that service. So, but the point I want to make about charging, make sure you charge half up front. Don't sit there and do someone's tax returns and then, for whatever reason, you can't get in touch with them after you finish. So that's just a little business tip that I would suggest for you. Excuse me. So that was what I wanted to come on tonight and talk about. I didn't want to spend too much time talking about it, but basically, I just wanted to let you know that, like they say, one income is too close to no income. And in this economy, we talk, sometimes the job quits you, sometimes you quit the job. And in this economy, there's a little bit of both. People are quitting their jobs. Unfortunately, the jobs are also quitting people. So have something to fall back on, and this is a great idea. Um, you can actually do this, like I said, through word of mouth. If you wanted to print up some cards, it's some business cards. You can have the people in your family pass them out. Do your family and friends first, and they would be your word of mouth. Bring you the clients from the business cards, and you doing theirs maybe for free. I don't know. Or you could also put an ad on Facebook Marketplace, and because obviously you're not going out of town to do this, so it can't be the worldwide or you would have to specify on the marketplace ad that is just for your local zip code area. So make sure you do that. That's kind of important. But maybe you wouldn't even have to do a Facebook ad. Marketplace is free. Facebook ads you have to pay for. Marketplace will be free. So try marketplace ads, Facebook marketplace ads first. They're free. Family, friends, word of mouth. Make up some business cards, give them to your family, and they will give them to their friends. When you do start getting people to want you to do their tax returns, meet them in a safe location. I suggest a coffee shop like Starbucks, somewhere during the day at a safe time. So make sure you do that. Let's see, is there anything else? And make sure you contact as soon as possible. Contact if you want to work for H&R Block. And again, Jackson Hewitt. And if you look on Google, I'm sure there's some others. You would tell them you want to be a tax preparer. The other thing, one more thing in mind I wanted to mention. So you have to be a tax preparer. Let me think about it for a minute. If you have any comments, you can put them down below. But basically, and I will respond. But let's see, what else? That was pretty much it. If I think of something else, I'll come back on. But just make sure if you want to do that, now would be the time to get started. Because once it starts, it might not be as easy to get involved with the different companies, or if you choose to do it by yourself. Personally, if it was me, if I was going to do it, I would do it the first year through an H&R Block And that way you can learn and what they say, learn the ropes and learn the ins and outs. And then next year do it, and you would probably make more money on your own. Or you could do a combination of both this year. It's up to you. In other words, you could work for H&R Block or whomever the tax preparer is, Jackson, and you could also do some on your own. And you can make a little bit more money. So that's all I have to say for tonight. So I hope everyone has a good evening. I'll talk to you again.